Hey there, Dr. Christianson here. Welcome to my indoor writing studio. This is not the outdoor writing cave, but I'm just taking a break and doing some Q&A with y'all. I got some really good questions in, and I want to take a minute and cover some important topics for you. This one came in from Taylor. Hey, Taylor. She's saying, I thought food combining protein and carbs is not good. Your book stresses to do so at each meal. What should I do? Great question. You know, food combining, one of the more popular books was Fit for Life by Harvey Diamond, and that was one of the books earlier in my health career. I think I was probably in my later teens when that one came out, and I devoured it, no pun intended, and tried all those principles. And it's funny because they call it food combining, but it's really food dividing. If you think about it, it's really dividing and separating types of foods. The basic principle is that protein and carbs should not mix. They argue that if you separate those foods, if you divide them, not combine them, that you'll have fewer digestive symptoms. And I certainly have seen times to where if someone has just difficult digestion in general, if they reduce the quantity or they reduce how much food they have, or if they add a lot more good vegetables, they help alkalize their intestinal tract, they can feel better. So there's no doubt that there are times in which that strategy may serve some of those with digestive symptoms. I would argue that for many people, a goal is having your blood sugar steady and your digestion good. So the nice thing about having protein and carbs is that they digest more slowly. There's been a lot of data saying that how fast a food enters your bloodstream determines whether or not it makes you lean or makes you diabetic. The foods that come in your bloodstream really fast, they give your body a workout in a bad way. They cause you to make lots of stress hormones like cortisol. They cause you to make more insulin. They can cause your blood sugar to go on a roller coaster. And that leads to weight gain, weakened immunity, and just lots of chronic disease risk, and not feeling well, and just having bad energy. So you want a slow, steady, even burn for your food. And if you've got some digestive symptoms, definitely keep the number of different foods lower. You can still have protein and carbs, but maybe you don't want 5, 6, 7 different types of ingredients or dishes all together with each meal. And you can also play with your food quantity. Sometimes having less total quantity of food can be easier when your digestion is weaker. And you may want more food frequency if you're doing less food quantity. If your meals are smaller, maybe have them a bit more often. I've seen many do really well to have a healthy breakfast and divide that up. You know, have some for breakfast and have some for mid-morning. Same thing, make a good lunch and have about half of it for lunch and maybe half mid-afternoon. Now, if your digestion works well, you don't have to do that. That strategy doesn't actually help for weight loss like we used to think that it does, but for some that have a difficult time processing foods, that can make it easier. But the advantage of food combining rather than food dividing is your blood sugar stays steadier, so you don't have to work your pancreas quite as hard. So that's my take on that, and that's a goofy ending. I think there was a stop before then where there could have been a natural stop. No, let me just give her one more. So by actually intentionally and strategically combining your foods, you can make your blood sugar steady and still have really good digestion. So great question, and thanks for that, Taylor.